Broncos Country. It is game week 1, 2023 season. The Denver Broncos will be taking on our division rival, the Las Vegas Raiders, at home in Denver. There's so much to talk about. We're going to predict our final prediction for the record of the season. We're also going to have some ridiculous yet fun hot takes just for S's and G's. And we're also going to predict each of us who we think is going to get the team MVP for this season. Guys, this is going to be fun. This is the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. Let's go.
Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It is up. Orange and Blue crew, and how you doing, Broncos Country? Welcome to the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast 2023 game week here on the Orange and Blue Network. Woo! I am so excited, dude. We've had college football this last weekend, and what a weekend it was. We're going to talk about it. We have the Denver Broncos season opener at home in Denver coming up in just 5 freaking days. I am on cloud 9, cuz. How are you feeling?
Dude, football is back. I know that every year college football gets the NFL by a week, and so we already got those juices flowing for real footballs happening. Dude, this is where they intersect. This is one of the happiest times of the year for me, where we have our favorite things returning. And guys, it makes my heart so full to be able to say there's a game this week that matters.
Well, Jay,
oh my God.
Jay, I don't know if you saw it, but in our show bio for tonight, I literally said it is finally here. Better than Christmas morning, better than your birthday, better than a cold one after a long, hard day. It is week 1 of real football. Oh, that's literally in tonight's bio. Like,
what a bio. What a bio.
Thank you. Guys, welcome to the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast here on the Orange and Blue Network. We are a built by fans for the fans, Broncos-based podcast going live to you every single week on the Orange and Blue Network, which is also chock full of awesome content. Guys, I'm your host. Thank you. I am your host, Johnny Baki, and with me tonight, right now, my cousin, my childhood best friend, Jay the Denver Dream Weaver. What's up, cuz?
Dude, as you can see under my name here, I'm going to have a nice meshing of opinions, but they're actually going the same direction. We got 2 football teams that one of them had all of the hype in the world, and it came true. We have this sleeping giant that is Russell Wilson that is just about to explode. And I cannot wait.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you. Guys, the third member of the show, the other founder, my fellow founder of the Orange and Blue Network, Mr. Isaiah Henderson, or as he is known, the Bronco Gentleman. He will be joining us here in a little bit. He had something to take care of. So we're going to go ahead and get some housekeeping out of the way. So, guys, like I said, this is the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast, and we are on the Orange and Blue Network. If you like what you see, if you like what you hear, or if you're just truly an awesome fellow fan of the Broncos and just have it in your heart to help some other Bronco fans out, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Guys, It takes 5 seconds to hit that subscribe button and to ring that notification bell so you know whenever we go live. You can find us on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. You can find us on Facebook. And also, as you can see below Jay down there, you can find the audio version of every single one of our shows wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, be it Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, any of the big ones. We are on there. So please make sure that you do that for us. That being said, I would be remiss if I did not just go ahead and shout out the sponsor of tonight's show, and that is Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend. You can find the link in the bio below, dubby.gg. Jump on over, you guys, and get yourself some Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend. This stuff is absolutely awesome. All right. It comes in a multitude of absolutely delicious flavors. You can just see a few here: Galaxy Grenade, Dub Sludge. You got the Dragonade, the Calio Cream, Beach and Peach. There are so many delicious flavors. But what I love most about the Dubby is that Dubby has as much caffeine in just one scoop as two cups of coffee. But it has absolutely no calories, no sugar, no maltodextrin, no fillers, and no artificial colors. It is very natural. It is formulated to give you the focus and the energy and no jitters or crash. Nothing but amino acids, B vitamins, and then nootropics that keep you sharp and keep you focused, keep your reflexes ready to go. It's amazing stuff, you guys. And I'm telling you, you get about 30 drinks out of one tub. Jay's got some right there. He's about to, snort some right off his pinky nail. But
keep it extra long,
this stuff is amazing. It is true. It is very good, and it definitely gets me through my day now. So, guys, go get yourself that dub at dubby.gg. And when you're in the checkout, make sure you punch in code NRWOB10. That's NRWOB10 in the code box at checkout to get 10% off your order. Guys, get yourself a dub. Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend. It's delicious. It is wonderful. You will thank me later. That being said, Jay, if you would please master of merch this thing for me real quick.
Absolutely. So we've got an iconic
links in the bio
look here. Iconic look here, folks. We got the bandanas that we are featuring today. And let me tell you, they are dual use. Obviously, you've got the fantastic model here, this pupperoo, probably named Scruffy. But he looks real cute in it. It comes in different colors. But here's the twist. It can also be used as a do-rag. And a true do-rag, not a don't-rag. And I say a do-rag because the main man, Prime Time, is in town. He's successful. He's 1-0. And in his playing days, he always rocked a bandana underneath his helmet. So, guys, get on over to the merch shop. Get yourself a bandana. You're not going to regret it. Your puppers will like it. And you know what? If you don't have a costume idea for Halloween coming up, go as Prison Mike from Office Space. You can be Prison Michael
It's
Scott.
from The Office. The Office, Jay.
Yeah, The
Office Space was a movie. Good
Well,
Lord.
that's true. They're all in the same, cubicle.
No, not even close, but okay. Anyway, thank you, Jay. The link for that merch store is in the bio below as well. So, guys, get you some swag. Show the world that you rep Orange and Blue Crew. We appreciate you. And if you do happen to get yourself some merch and rep the Orange and Blue Crew, please snap a photo of yourself wearing it. Send it to us so we can throw it up on our social media because you guys are the most badass people we know. And we'd love to put that up on our social media. So thank you guys for that. That being said, challenge accepted. That being said, guys, it is time to talk some football. So, before we get to Broncos, since it came first this week, let's talk our CU Buffs. How amazing did it feel to be a winner at in Colorado, in University of Colorado country again, in Buffalo's country? How good does it feel, Jay? I mean, I was literally on cloud nine all weekend.
Dude, it's been a sagging culture. It's been a sagging set of vibes for all football related things in the state. And so for one of the things to automatically go our way right out of the gate, it gives me a lot of hope for what we're about to see for the Broncos. Sean Payton's got some big shoes to fill here as far as the hype train going around the area. But, man, the Buffaloes came through and did every single thing they could have. A school record in passing yards. Beating a team that was just in the national title.
The runner-up of the national title.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Pookie, well,
look who's in the house.
There he is.
There's the Bronco gentleman. Hey, before we talk Broncos, we're talking CU Buffs real quick. So,
interesting.
Oh yeah. So, Jay, real quick, I just got to say, to do what Prime did, coming to Colorado, walking in the door and going, hey, coaching staff, bye. And then walking in the locker room and being like, hey, 90-man squad of players, bye. And they're all like, wait, coach, I've been on this team for years. And he's like, I don't care, get out. And then he goes out there and he literally fills a 90-man squad from the in the transfer portal and builds a dream team. And the national media looks at it and goes, this isn't going to work. This isn't how it's done. It's not going to work. Nothing's going to come of it. Coach Prime is in over his head. He's been coaching in Division III. He's not ready for Division I, blah, blah, blah. And then the Buffs go out there and he puts together a game, not just the players, but Prime himself puts together a game in which his own son starts a quarterback and puts up, 38 for 46, 510 yards and 4 touchdowns. I mean, unfreaking believable. We had four wide receivers, or 4 receivers, not necessarily all wide receivers because Dylan Edwards is a running back. 4 receivers with over 100 yards receiving.
Including a Weaver.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Xavier Weaver. Can't forget about Xavier Weaver. We had Horn, Hunter, Weaver, and Edwards that were just tearing it up. And, dude, I would be remiss. Let's talk about this future Heisman winner,
Shador, man.
Travis Hunter.
Oh, well, which one, I guess.
All right.
First off, I'm going to lead off with this. I am not a CU Buffs fan, but I'm definitely going to get me a Shador jersey. First off, Johnny, if you know me 100% with that white jersey they wore, I put about 4 or 5 outfits together with that immediately.
Oh, dude, the white with that nice glistening gold.
Yes. So you automatically know when I saw that, I was like, yeah. And the way he played, and I'm a fan, I'm gonna have to go ahead and get me a jersey. Second, it was impressive. They have multiple Heisman winners, and I was thinking about you, Jay, and I was like, where's that USC versus Colorado game going to be at? Is that in Colorado or is that in California? Because that may be the game of the year. If they're both undefeated leading up to that and they're both putting up numbers weekly like that, that's going to be that Deshaun Watson versus Lamar Jackson college game.
It's in Colorado.
It's going to be that USC versus Texas versus Vince Young versus Reggie Bush NCAA championship. It's going to be a shootout. Like that. You said it's in Colorado?
Yeah. It's in Colorado.
I'm just now traveling to go see the Broncos. I'm not going to jump on the CU Buff train that hard and go to a game that fast.
Jay and I will.
But if they're on their schedule, they play any team in Tennessee or maybe even Georgia, I might go check them out.
Not this season.
Hey, I'd love to go to the Nebraska-Colorado game this weekend, but tickets are Stanley Cup final priced. You heard that right.
And there are 0 hotels available within a 50-mile radius. So,
is the rivalry back?
It's never gone away. The rivalry between the Buffs and the Huskers has never gone away. It just kind of got put on the back burner because we weren't in the same division anymore, the same conference. But now they're going to be back in the same conference again starting next season. So this is like the Premier
They'll still be
League.
separate. They'll still be separate. They're in the Big Ten, and Colorado's going to the Big 12. So they'll still be separate. Okay, but we're going back to our original, going back to the Big 12, where we should never
back to where we started and where we belong, plain and simple. So I mean, Jay, I said how I felt. Isaiah said what he saw and felt. What did you feel that game?
Man, yeah, dude, just echoing all that. I mean, again, I just related back to this first game here with the Broncos and so much hype for Sean Payton and what we had as far as hype for Russell Wilson coming to town. I mean, that's very similar to what we were expecting out of Dion, his first game. Granted, we fell right on our face last year, but we all understood that, wow, our coach is a mess. We understood that game one. So if that's fixed and Russell has a clean slate, then, boys, we're going to be sitting here Monday in the same vibe train we're at right now, but for another team down the road, and it's going to be a sweet victory.
Another Colorado football team.
Yeah. And, we make a big deal about the streak with the Chiefs. Let's talk a little bit about that streak versus the Raiders. And that's
in the
2020s.
That first home game against a division rival that also comes on the heels of Colorado Buffs' first home game against Nebraska. So Colorado is going to be full of joy coming from that Saturday, getting that first home game, hopefully that first home win against a rival to turn around.
It's not a hopeful thing. Matt Rule's Huskers are not. Matt Rule's Huskers ain't going to be able to hang.
Isaiah, you can see below my name.
Colorado
it's my prediction.
Shows up, and you have the Raiders. So yeah, it's set up for a win. I think first home game in the preseason we won 41-0. I'm not saying we're going to put up those numbers, but I don't think Sean Payton comes out there and loses his first game against a division rival. That's just not competitive. That's just not who he is.
Nope.
No. It's not on his resume.
D-Rock's already in the house. He says, "Congratulations, Dreamweaver. Keep weaving them wins." I just want to say, Shadow, I'm a Colorado CU Buffs fan too. So,
comma slash.
Yeah, a bit of a slash would be nice there. Blitzby Reppin's also in the house. Says, "What's up?" Blitz has been watching a video, wondering if the rumor that about us potentially signing Mike Evans is true. Again, it's rumor only. There's nothing. There has been nothing from official and trustworthy sources yet that speak to that. So
that ain't happening.
Just saying.
I wish, but
our boy and the host of our new show that is dropping this week, Orange and Blue Fantasy Frenzy, Ty Y is in the house. He says, "Let's talk about my Hurricanes." Why?
Oh, you're
why?
crazy.
Why? No, but no, for real. He says he's got the Buffs to win the chip for his money. So hey, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. And he also brings up, hey guys, the Buffs are now in the top 25 too. So I mean that is nothing to slouch at. We went from unranked to number 22.
We went from a one-win team, not even just not ranked, one win last year.
I mean, it's it's pretty unbelievable, man. I loved
the worst team in college football.
One of them, yeah, one of them. And I would love to. And before we move on to Broncos, because we've got to, guys, because we got a lot to cover Broncos wise tonight. But before we do, I just want to say how refreshing it was, Coach Prime's post-game interviews. I mean, I absolutely loved it. I loved his, I told you we were coming. Y'all didn't believe me. But I've been keeping receipts. I loved that. I loved that quote. And then on top of it, when they asked him, how does it feel? And the first thing he could say was, praise Jesus. Oh, man. I loved it. I felt it in my heart, in my soul, and I was so happy. Oh, my gosh. A 6'10" Mexican is in the house. We got Diaz popping in saying, salutations, Broncos Country. Isaiah, can't wait to meet up with you, brother.
Correct. If I'm going to the Chicago Bears game, are we doing play the Bears in Chicago?
Yeah.
Nice.
If we play the Bears in Chicago, there's a good chance I'll be going to that game. So,
That's our boy, Don. We love Don. Isaiah, you're going to be a dwarf standing next to him. You realize that, right?
What to do?
A little dwarf black man next to a 6'10" Mexican. I'm just saying.
You don't know how tall I am. Don't stop putting my personal information.
I do. I see you at least once a week in person. I know exactly how tall you are.
Also, I've never met you in my life. I'll meet a Don before I meet you.
Oh, okay, you're right. Anyway, moving on. So it is time to talk some Broncos. Oh my God, you guys. So let's quickly give a quick preview of Broncos Raiders this week, because then we got to give our final record prediction before the season starts. So Broncos Raiders. Isaiah, what are you most excited to see from the Broncos this week against the Raiders? Or what do you think we will see? What do you think most likely?
Those are two different questions, Johnny. What is it that I want to see, or what is it do you think
Give me
will
both.
see?
Go ahead. Give me both. What do you think we will see, and what do you most want to see?
Let's see. There's a lot I want to see.
Time's up.
Oh, there's
Jay?
so much.
I'm kidding.
All right, so what I want to see the offensive line be absolute bullies.
Okay.
I want to see them.
All right.
Because it's going to be with Jerry Jeudy. It's Sean Payton. The Broncos have been real. It's up in the air whether Jerry Jeudy plays on Sunday. I hope everybody knows that. It's not confirmed that he's out. He's been stretching and doing conditioning. They didn't practice today. They'll be back at practice tomorrow. So if he's doing individual drills back tomorrow on Wednesday, then you got Thursday. If he's practicing with the team by the end of the week, depending on the hamstring, they never said the severity of the injury. They didn't say the time he'll be out, so there's a possibility. And he got injured 12 days ago. That's almost 2 weeks ago. So we don't know what that, but I expect the offense to be run heavy regardless to set that tone. And I think Mike McGlinchey said the offensive line sets the tone, and I think sticking to that, coming out and establishing that run game hard. And I mean, during the preseason, they were averaging 4, 5, 6 yards per carry, and they were before the running back was touching the ball. The offensive line had pushed the opponent's defensive line 2 yards back off the line of scrimmage. I expect to see that, especially with Mike McGlinchey coming back, seeing that cohesion. That's what I want to see. Just be bullies off the offensive line. Just own it the whole game. I think we will see is I think we will see the most underrated pass rush in the NFL show up.
I like it. Jay, desires and expectations. Go.
Desires is for us to establish the run and have an efficient offensive intro into the season. I don't want to see false starts. I don't want to see all the small mistakes that we made that just snowballed on ourselves. I want to see a more efficient, organized team on offense. That's not even necessarily saying to be a successful offense. I just want to have a foundation to build a season upon. We knew week 1 last year that, oh my gosh, this is disorganized. We knew that right out of the gate. And when watching Dion in his first game, first takeaway was, wow, these kids know exactly where they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to do. Everyone has the place and has a plan, and that's coaching. And that's my biggest hope is that we have coaching done. Week 1, it's already set because you know what? Most of your coaching should be done before the game starts. What was the other part? My expectation.
What do you expect to see?
I expect to see a low-scoring game, unfortunately. I expect to see our defense give up 14 points or less, and us maybe to win 21-10. Still very low-scoring, low margin for error. But,
that's still a good win, though.
It is, but, we should expect more.
The Raiders dubs are a dub, guys. Dubs a dub.
It is, but the Raiders are not going to be a good team this year.
No,
all right. No, okay. I like it. So, mine for me. All right. What I want to see some. Well, first of all, real quick, we got Blitzby repping popping in with even more comments. I mean, keep it rolling, dude. I love it. How about them Broncos? One of our co-hosts here on the network, Mr. Kevin Zano. What's up, Zano? He says, "What's up, fellas? What did I miss?" And not much, man. We are literally on game 1. So we're just previewing the game, and that's how we're going to roll into the rest of the record. Right now, what I want to see, okay, what we saw in the preseason, offensively and defensively, the play calling, the scheming was milk toast. All right? It was simple, vanilla football. All right? Miss Linda Stark in the house popped on to hit the like button. Have a good stream. Thank you, Miss Stark. We really appreciate you, and we love you. Now, like I said, what we saw schematically in the preseason was very vanilla football, both offensively and defensively. I want to see some of these amazing Sean Payton trick plays, things he's got up his sleeve to utilize the weapons on this offense to absolutely just shock the world. That's what I want to see. I want them to be talking on Monday. Did you see this play call by Sean Payton? Oh my God, that's what I want to see on SportsCenter come Monday morning. What I expect to see, I actually expect to see a pretty even game. The first half, I think it'd be a bit of a slobber knocker, back and forth, back and forth. After the half, I think with some wonderful words by a very encouraging Sean Payton, because the players will all tell you that he is. One, because he's an encouraging he's very good at encouraging, but two, because players do not want to let this man down.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, Johnny.
Hold on, let me finish. I ain't done. I think we'll come out in the second half, in the third quarter, and we'll start to pull away. Not a lot, but I do agree, Jay. I think it'll be a lower scoring game. 20, I think maybe 27-14 would be where I'm comfortable calling it. But that's what I predict. That's what I want to see, and what I think we will see.
I don't think.
All right, go ahead.
I disagree with you about is the evenly. For whatever reason, I just have this feeling. I don't think that it'll be even. I'm thinking 35-14, 35-17. Because if I'm thinking about it, we think about the players they have, the past that we've had, Josh Jacobs. But I'm thinking about the cohesion and the togetherness of the Raiders right now. So you had Derek Carr gone. Devontae Adams came to Las Vegas for Derek Carr. Derek Carr ships out. Devontae Adams is there. So he can say he's happy, but he has to deal with that. Now he's got to get used to a new quarterback who's brought in. Then you get Josh Jacobs, who's trying to hold out, going back and forth with the GM. He's there. Hunter Renfro's coming back off injury.
Yeah.
Darren Waller's gone. He's in New York.
Yep.
So, I mean, then you have all these. Then you have
Chandler Jones. Yeah.
Yes, then you have Chandler Jones coming out and saying, I can't even get into the facility to work out. Did you bring me? Am I a joke to you? So I'm not seeing that cohesion. And it's still not a give me game. It's not a give me game.
Well, and really the only reason that I said, real quick.
Hold on one second. Based off their star players, they can still figure it out and make some plays if you sleep on them. But I think if, like Jay said, if the Broncos are disciplined, we can absolutely start the Raiders season off and crush them already more than they are now. Because they're crushed now with no cohesiveness. You start them off with a hard loss, a divisional loss to start the year, breaking the streak. That's really going to crush them. And I think that's a good chance for us to do that, especially in the position they're in now.
All right. Well, I mean, but here's why I said that I believe the first half starts out even keel. All right. Because you already said it. You want to see the offensive line cohesion. Yeah. You want to see them bully. Okay. We already have established that it takes time for an offensive line to mesh and gel and become one unit, right? Mike McGlinchey has been out. He's still kind of playing catch up. So that's why I kind of predict that it'll be even keel the first half, because those guys will kind of be finding a rhythm. Yep. And I think up to about halftime, they'll be still finding that rhythm. But after halftime, after they go in that locker room and they talk to each other about what they've been doing, they're going to come back out and they're going to be a lot more synced. Does that make sense?
Well, and one thing that I guess I'd like to think on is if this game was against the Raiders and it wasn't week 1, Raiders historically have a horrendous secondary. So teams usually pick apart their secondary. So, I mean, you would normally look at this in a fantasy perspective of, our wide receiver's about to go off. But because of that first game, I think you're totally right. That first half is going to be a set the tone, set the line of scrimmage. It's a lot easier to get acclimated in run protection than it is pass protection. I think you're totally right.
I think what's going to be a key to this game is what can also set the tone is that defensive line and that run game. Because as we talked about, Josh Jacobs, I was listening to Troy Rank on his podcast on Spotify. He had an interview with Pat Surtain. He was discussing the yards that Josh Jacobs has against the Broncos. He's 7-0 against the Broncos, never lost. And he has great games. That defensive line sets that tone. We know our linebackers can hit, but in the past we've had an issue with run defense in that defensive line. Mike Purcell's coming back. That's the underrated player coming back along with DJ Jones. Is Zach Allen going to make a difference in that run game than Draymond Jones did? That's the question. So if that defensive line, how's Jonathan Cooper going to, if he's the starting guy, how's Jonathan Cooper going to be with setting that edge to coming in and tackling? So I think that defensive line and that defense can actually set the tone themselves and stick the Raiders. Because, I mean, we've got Jimmy Garoppolo's number. We've always played well against Jimmy Garoppolo.
We have.
We've always played well against Jimmy. And the Niners, we've always played well against them. So I'm thinking the defense comes out and gives them no room to breathe and sets the tone early and say, "Hey, offense,
All right.
show us what you got."
All right. So we are at the half-hour mark. So let's use this time now to roll right into the record. We all said win against the Raiders week 1, right?
Yep.
Jay, you want to keep track of it for us again?
I will.
Since you have the stuff there from the previous?
Yep.
I like it a lot. Okay. Where did Isaiah go? Oh, he's there. Okay. All right. So now we move on to week 2.
Where did that go?
It was just my computer being stupid. All right. Anyway. Week 2 at home still. So we get 2 weeks in a row of home games. I love it.
Yeah, that's going to be
so
nice.
Week 2 at home versus the Washington Commanders. Still the stupidest name in football.
2-0.
You say 2-0?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Without a doubt. Because, I mean, maybe. No, I'm kidding. There's no way. The Washington Commanders are, they keep bringing in pieces thinking that they're going to have the answer, but every time it all falls apart. Every time.
Well, now they've got a foundation. I think they're very underrated and overlooked. The NFC East is going to be tough with the Giants, the Cowboys, and you got the Eagles. So the NFC East is going to be tough. So the Commanders are overlooked, but the Commanders are going to be ruined. Get a couple upsets this season and upset a couple people's seasons. I don't think with Sean Payton, I don't think we're going to lose to a team we're not supposed to lose to. I think that's the difference with coaching this year. We're going to win the games we're supposed to win. We're not going to lose the game. And Sean Payton's about mitigating those mistakes. We're not going to lose the games that we're supposed to win. So
especially by close margins.
And at home again.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm a little more grim on this the more I've thought about it. They have a garbage quarterback. Sam Howell, I think, is their starting quarterback.
Yep.
Who cares? But their starting defensive line and secondary are insane. So that is going to be the very first test of our offensive line legit? And if they're not, that could go south real quick. So I'm not as confident about that game.
But prediction, I say win. Isaiah?
What?
Well, we got to give a prediction for the game. So I say win against Washington.
I say win as well. I said 2-0.
Jay?
I'm going win, but it's going to be a real close game.
All right, 2-0 it is. All right, so now we move on to week number 3. We get on the road for the first time in the regular season, and we are going to the sunny city of Miami, Florida, to face the Dolphins.
I'm going to go off and say it's a win because I will be there. That's why we will win.
That is why we will win. The Bronco gentleman will be in attendance.
The Bronco gentleman will be there in his 3-piece suit.
Nice, dude. That's awesome.
In hot-ass Miami.
Yeah.
Hey, you'll be looking slick.
Depends. I might change it to the jersey. If it's really, really hot, I'm not going to do that. But we'll just have to.
But anyway,
I'll still maintain my gentleman characteristics.
A little bit harder game. A little bit harder game, in my opinion. I mean, the Dolphins have absolutely stacked the deck this offseason. They have brought in a lot of pieces, a lot of very strong pieces. And assuming that Tua Tagovailoa doesn't get flicked in the forehead at least once during the game, he will at least stay conscious for most of it. And he's dangerous when he's conscious. And of course they've got Tyreek Hill. They've got a whole bunch of other weapons now, both in the run game and in the pass game. Their defense is not elite, but it's nothing to slouch at either.
Will Jalen Ramsey be back that game?
Oh no,
not yet. No.
He's out for a while.
Yeah. So
they have Xavier Howard, Bradley Chubb. I think Draymond Jones
he's Seahawk.
Plays for Miami too, doesn't he?
No, he's Seahawk. So
yeah, he went to Seattle.
Yeah,
I think we lost Isaiah. I
think
think Isaiah froze up.
Yeah, he traded places with Shelby.
Yeah, you're back now.
Okay, I'm back.
So I mean, okay, Miami, a little bit harder. So predictions: win, loss against Miami on the road.
I got a loss.
Yeah.
27-24. We lose by a field goal. Last minute field goal.
Yeah. All right. Ty Y predicts Dolphins win there too. And you know what? I'm with you. I think it could. Well, no, you know what? Just you guys can go ahead and give us the loss as a network, but I'm gonna be the one that goes against the grain on this one. I'm gonna go win. I'm gonna give us the dub against Miami. I think it'll be a close game, like you said, and it probably by a field goal. It'll be a great chance for Mr. Will Lutz to show us what he's got. But
later on down the line, I'm gonna say win against the Jets. And right now, I'm thinking if you had to split one between the Jets and the Dolphins, who are you more likely to beat? And so I'm thinking Dolphins have a faster offense.
I don't know about that. The Jets have some pieces.
They do.
Yeah, but we'll get to the Jets. Yeah. We'll get to the Jets.
Yeah. All right. So you're the only one with a W.
Yeah. I'm the only one with a W, so we're gonna make it a loss for the net, because you guys went out on that one. KB82, who we have not seen in the chat for some time, popping in saying, "What's up, fellas? Skull Buffs, 500 yards passing, 4 wide receivers with 100 yards. Dylan Edwards smoking everyone, and Travis Hunter lighting it up on both sides of the ball. What a game it was, KB. I mean, it's good to see you, bro. We've missed you, man.
What's up, brother?
So." We appreciate you popping in to talk a little bit of Buffs and a little bit of Broncos. So,
Johnny, we missed one more. We missed one too here. We got Linda Stark in here. Popped up the hit the like button there. Appreciate that, Linda. Thank you very much.
Y'all, and for everybody else, if you haven't already, come on, man. Don't it takes a second. Like, subscribe, share. Just do a little something for us. We'd appreciate it. All right, now. We are now, based on our predictions, we are now 2-1, going on the road to Chicago in week 4 to take on the Bears. So, you guys aren't going to like what I have to say here.
Oh, wow.
Are you ready?
Go ahead.
The Bears is our first trap game.
Ooh.
I think everything I've been seeing is that Justin Fields is a sleeper this season. And I think that we overestimate ourselves going into Chicago. And they've added a lot of pieces this offseason that make them dangerous. So I think it's a bit of a trap game. And we lose in my opinion.
Well, you're undefeated. You're undefeated going into that game, Johnny, since you beat Miami. Well, so I can totally see that. Yeah. I see where you're coming from on that.
Yeah. For me, that's not a trap game because I'm not going in undefeated. I'm going in with a loss. So I think we want vengeance on the Bears. But I think what's key for this game is in the history of the Broncos, we've had a hard time with running quarterbacks. If Vance Joseph can figure out how to stop the RPO, because you got Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson just tearing us up with those RPOs, killing us.
Yeah.
Killing us. Yes, so if Vance Joseph can figure out a certain defense, maybe put in Drew Sanders as a spy, whatever the case may be, to stop the RPO offense, then absolutely we can go win that game.
Absolutely. But I still think, I predict. So what do you predict, Jay? You're the tiebreaker on this one.
I've got to win. I think Chicago's garbage, and I think Justin Fields can't read a defense. I don't care how athletic you are. So it's a W. I think that'll be an easier game.
Justin Simmons is going to be a nightmare for Justin Fields.
Kenny Booker said he hit the love button. So we love you, Kenny. Appreciate
Johnny,
you, brother.
You also have to think about it, too. Who are Chicago's receivers? Who's their best receiver?
Daryl Mooney.
PS2 is going to be guarding him.
True.
He's done. He's at the game. He's over with.
Yeah.
Put your eye patch on. That side of the field doesn't exist anymore.
It's fair. It's fair. I came into this with that as a loss because I had us going in there 3-0, and I saw it as a trap. It does happen. I mean, we've seen it happen.
On the high horse of 3-0, I totally see that, though. It's an early Eastern time game, which we always fumble on, it seems like. We suck at 4 o'clock time. So
DJ Moore. I don't know. I thought DJ Moore. Yeah, DJ Moore is their best receiver. Thanks, guys, in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
That's so you put PS2 on DJ Moore, shut down their best receiver, then Vance Joseph just brings the blitz on the outside, and Justin Fields wants to float the ball. We have Justin Simmons in the back.
Real quick, KB82 asking me, did I win the fantasy draft this season? I did not. I got top 4. But
I won the
and
draft.
Ty saying he won it, even though he was like 11th.
I won the draft.
My dumb ass
Whatever.
drafted Travis Kelsey, so I'm already after it out of the game.
You're in trouble. Hey, it's
I deserve
okay.
it.
It's all right. We'll be okay.
I deserve it.
All right, so moving on. We got to keep it rolling because
All
we
right.
still have more to get to.
JETS.
So you guys both gave that a win. So the
Yep.
Broncos, in your opinion, are now 3-1, heading back home to take on the Jets in Denver. Aaron Rodgers versus Russell Wilson. Sean Payton versus Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah.
He has two.
Robert Saleh. Who
Aaron
cares?
Sauce Gardner versus Cortland Sutton or Jerry.
Yeah,
Jeudy.
yeah.
This is matches
Yeah.
left and right.
So, all right, guys, what are we thinking? I went first last time, so somebody else.
That's in Denver, right?
And it's our
Yeah.
snow cap uniform. that
Oh
we get
yeah,
the
yeah.
helmet.
We're winning. That's the one because I said we're losing to Miami. We're gonna beat the Jets. I think it's gonna be a good. I want to go to that game so bad.
White
Jay,
helmets, dude. It's gonna be
Jay,
great.
do you want to go to that game?
I really do, but I will tell you, October 1st is
Eighth?
the
I think it's
Nuggets
October
opening
8th.
night. I'm going to opening night for the Nuggets. That's gonna
I think
happen before the Jets.
October 8th is the game.
Anyway, beyond plans, do we win or do we lose, boys?
Win. I said win.
I gotta
Jay?
win too. I gotta win.
All right, me too. That's the first
Wow.
one since week 2 that we're unanimous.
Wow.
The Broncos beat the Jets in Denver. I think Sean Payton's going to have some pretty brilliant stuff drawn up for that game, ready to go. I think that I don't take anything away from Aaron Rodgers. He is Aaron Rodgers. He is dangerous. Period. But I don't think that the Jets. I personally think the national hype on the Jets, is a little bit too much. I don't think it's completely justified yet. And it's actually very similar to the hype on the Broncos last season and what we thought the Broncos were going to be. And it's a very similar situation. I see Russ and I see everybody stepping up at home in those beautiful snow cap uniforms. Well, beautiful snow cap helmets. God, I wish they were wearing all white uniforms with the helmet. Just stepping up and doing it. So, we all say a win. So now we move on to week 6. We are now, what is it? 5? No, 4-1. 4-1. Yeah,
Yep,
officially.
4-1.
Yes.
Yep.
4-1.
Correct.
Yes. we're
Now
all
we
4-1.
we
only have
go.
one loss.
Yeah. We are headed to Kansas City to take on the reigning Super Bowl champions, a team who we have not beaten since Peyton Manning suited up for the Denver Broncos. What do we think happens in our first meeting with the Kansas City Chiefs, guys?
Is this in Kansas City or in Denver?
In Kansas
In
City.
Kansas City.
We lose. First one. Close game.
All right.
Maybe
Jay?
even overtime. Maybe even overtime in Arrowhead.
I was at the last Broncos Chiefs victory. I will be at the next Broncos Chief victory. This is a dub, guys.
You going to
All
this
right.
game, Jay?
Yeah.
I'll be at that game too.
This is
Are you serious?
Jay?
this.
Yeah.
You're gonna be
Can
in
you guys
Kansas
stop
City?
making okay?
Oh my
First
gosh,
of all,
dude.
can you
Well,
guys
I'll
stop
see you.
making me
See you
feel
there. Hey, I got
Okay,
a tailgating
hey,
spot for you.
Johnny,
I got a
Johnny,
tailgating spot
Shut
for you.
up. Shut up, Johnny. Jay, did we just become best friends?
Yeah, dude. You want some KC barbecue? I got the hookup.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm gonna need the two of you to stop making me feel lame and poor at the same time because that's what I am. Okay,
Well, do you
I
wanna
can't
go
go to
live
any of
while
these
looking at
games.
pictures of barbecue? Johnny,
So, anyway, what
do you want to feel lamb and poor while looking at pictures of barbecue?
you mean the barbecue that I'm gonna make at my house? That's gonna be better than the KC barbecue you're gonna get in KC.
My high
No.
venue. Or my
No, the KC barbecue. But yeah, that's gonna be fun. Yeah, I'm excited. But
All
now
right.
we
One
lose.
taking the dub.
Now, okay, Jay took the dub. Isaiah took the L. I take the dub.
Yeah!
The Broncos are sick of freaking losing to the Kansas City Chiefs. And in the last 2 seasons, Every single game against them has been lost by 1 score or less. They are sick of it. And we are sick and tired of them coming into our house and embarrassing the crap out of us in our own home. So we're going to march into...
Wait.
What?
I made a mistake. I'm sorry. It's a win.
No.
Because I thought this one was at Kansas City. The first game is in Denver?
No, this is in Kansas City. I'm saying we're so sick of them beating up on us and embarrassing us in our house. We're going to march into theirs, and we're going to embarrass them in front of their house. That's what we're going to do.
We're going to lose to Kansas City in our house?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I took the opposite.
So that's 2-1. We dub in this one, and we are now 7-1. We are now 7-1 leading into week 7.
Hold up. I got 5 wins.
I only have 1 loss, and that's to I actually have 2 losses
to Miami
and Kansas City. Johnny, you have 2, which is the Jets and Kansas.
Yeah, but okay, what we are doing here, though, guys, is we are voting, and then we are figuring out what our prediction is as a show.
Oh, as a show.
Oh, the consensus.
We're doing consensus. That's why I keep saying you're the tiebreaker. You're the tiebreaker.
Oh, okay.
It's a consensus. Right now, consensus going into week 7, we are 6-1. No. 5-1, right? What?
5-1. 5-1.
5-1. My bad. 5-1. Okay.
Record right there. That's reminiscent of what Sean Payton's done in the past.
You darn right. Now, going home back to Denver to take on the new starting quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love. What do we see happening in this Green Bay game? Isaiah, I want you to go first on this one.
You know what? Before I go first, I'm going to have to change my previous one. That first Kansas City game is tripping me up. But actually, you know what? I think you guys are going to change yours.
No, I'm not.
Because looking at that one, that's a back-to-back Sunday to Thursday night game against Kansas City.
I don't care.
It's a short week, but we're going to have our eye on the prize. That's a
but I agree with you guys. And I think we're going to lose the second. I think we're going to lose that second game because it's back-to-back. But I think we beat Green Bay because for me, we're coming off of – what did I say? Did I say the consensus is we won. Going to Green Bay, I say we win again. I'd say we win again. Jordan Love's a young quarterback. It's at home. It's at home. At this point in time, the defense should be top 5 in the NFL, and they're just hungry. And all of a sudden, they just got done playing the Chiefs. Now they've got a young quarterback for the first time in the NFC North. Depending on what schedule he just came off and where his confidence is, Vance Joseph can just send the dogs at Green Bay. Just send the dogs at him. And I think we come out
real quick. We had some talk about Damari Mathis off in the sidebar there, and there was some question by somebody. I'm not going to say who. You're on this network, questioning the validity of Damari Mathis's performance as a Bronco. KB82 brings up a great point. When going into his draft, Mathis was the second best corner in college football, and the only reason he fell in the draft was because of injury. And he played wide receiver, so pick sixes are very, very likely for him.
He said he'll be playing the number 2 wide receiver because Pastor Terry will be playing the number 1 wide receiver.
Okay, seriously, but he says he'll get a pick six. But yes, I do know that Damari Mathis has played wide receiver before. So
I do agree with KB82. Damari Mathis will get a pick 6 because they won't throw to the PS2 side.
Jonathan Blair popping in. Says he's got to bounce like a trampoline. That makes me sad, but it's all right. It's good to see you, bud. So, all right. Green Bay. Isaiah gives us a dub. I give us a dub as well. Jordan Love is still too unproven. And, while you can absolutely not take anything away from the Packers as a team, I do not think he is the heir apparent to Aaron Rodgers. And even if he was, he's still too raw, still too unproven. So that's my opinion. And Isaiah just poofed out of existence.
Goodbye.
So, yeah, he
went all Hollywood on us.
Yeah, he just raptured, dude. Like poof. Oh, wow. What about you, Jay? You give it the dub as well?
Yeah, that's an easy win. We should.
That's an easy one. I think so. All right, so 6-1 now.
Okay.
going into week 8, and we've already said it. This is now against Kansas City in Denver.
Yeah.
Jay says it's a loss. Isaiah's nowhere in sight to give us. Oh, here he comes.
Get water, hydrated.
That's fine. That's fine. We are now 6-1 going into our home game against Kansas City. Jay and I both give it the L.
Yeah, I give it L too. I changed from what I said earlier. I'll give that first game against Kansas City a win. The second one a loss, like I said, because it's going from Kansas City to Green Bay, then a Thursday night game against Kansas City. Again, even though it's at home, they're well rested. We're not.
Look, here's the reason I say we lose this.
If we beat Kansas City the first time, they're going to want their revenge too.
That's my point.
Coming back on a Thursday night game. That's if Sean Payton pulls it out. If we beat Kansas City twice in the same year, I'm great. But I just looking at the variables.
I'm with you. We beat Kansas City in their house in our first meeting. Look, they're still the Kansas City Chiefs. They are still dangerous. You cannot discount them, even if we beat them in that first meeting. They're not going to be happy with us. And like you said, they're going to want their revenge. And I think they're going to get it. But
it's a short week for them as well on that first meeting.
The fact of the matter will remain, though, that we will finally have broken that one way or the other. We will finally have broken the Chiefs the losing streak to the Chiefs. And, at that point, we've already beaten the Raiders and then we've beaten the Chiefs. We're going into this third game where we lose to the Chiefs. We're now, 2-1 in the division?
And then we'll be, I think, depending on their other record, we should be tied for first in division at that point in time because we'll have 2 wins in the division.
Tywai says we breaking the Chiefs and Raiders. But he disagrees with us. He thinks that we lose at Kansas City and win at home against the Chiefs.
That was my original going with that. I think what I ended up coming up with was whatever happens the first time, the opposite is going to happen the second.
That's fair.
I agree.
All right, so now we got to keep it rolling. We now go into the bye week. We go into the bye week following our loss to the Chiefs. We win the bye week, obviously.
Absolutely. I don't know how you don't.
Right now, here's where it gets a little tricky. Because going into week 10, we are facing off against Josh Allen, Von Miller, who will be back at that point, I believe.
For sure.
It will be the first time Von Miller's taken on the Broncos since leaving the Broncos. So it's actually going to be kind of a bittersweet reunion. Because the guy still talks about us when he's asked about the Broncos. We, us. And it's like, dude, you haven't been on the Broncos for 3 seasons now.
Yeah.
But in his heart, he will always be a Bronco. And so in his interviews, he's still, we, the Broncos, we. I love it. I absolutely love it. But it will be a bittersweet reunion.
I was going to the Buffalo game.
Yeah. The Broncos lose to Buffalo.
Nope.
Okay. Isaiah says no. Jay, you're the tiebreaker.
I actually see this as a win, and it's going to be a weird win. And the reason I think it's going to be a weird win is that I think by that time, that's week 10, I think Buffalo implodes. And they have a very toxic culture that's going to eat them from the inside out. And so I don't think they're going to be throwing the ball all over the way they usually do. And that, even if they try, plays right into our strengths. So I think we can get that game.
Do you think Brian Daboll was holding Buffalo Bills together?
No, I think, I think the whole Stephon Diggs thing has been quiet, but it's not going to be quiet as you get into the season.
It's going to get ugly.
It will.
I say a win because we're coming off a bye week. If we're going to say we're going to lose against Kansas City, I don't think we lose before a bye week, come back off a bye week with Sean Payton, and then lose again, especially to another playoff team. I think regardless of whether we beat Kansas City or not, I think coming off a bye week, coming off refreshed, coming off good practices, I think we come out, especially if we beat Kansas City going into the bye week, we feel like we can beat anybody. And then Buffalo coming up in the next.
I suddenly feel like so sad that I was the only one that called an L for this.
Yeah. Consensus wins.
I mean,
we beat Buffalo.
Yeah. All right. So we beat Buffalo. So
Yeah.
what are we now? We are
7-2.
officially 7-3. 7-3, right? No, because we lost to Kansas City 1.
7-3. Yeah,
7-3.
7-3.
Yep. Now
7-3.
we go. No, that can't be 6-3. We have to be 6-3.
No, who did we lose to 3 times? Miami. You
We
guys
lost
said
to
Miami,
Miami,
lost,
Kansas
right?
City, and
Well, it's 7-3 with the win with Buffalo.
is it?
No, that's only 2
No.
losses.
You're right.
No,
you're right.
we've only got 2 losses. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah,
You're right.
that's what I
7-2. We're 7-2
7-2.
Okay,
because
7
we had the bye week. All right, so we're 7-2 as we go back home to face off against another team that I think could be, a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
Yep, in the Minnesota Vikings and Kirk Cousins. Whew. All right, so what do we think? Jay, go first on this one, if you would, my cousin.
To back right after a bye week. And that doesn't usually spell well for us. So I think we're going to get the win in Buffalo and we're going to get the loss in Minnesota. Minnesota's a really good team. So
I agree with Jay.
We
can't keep up with that. They play a different kind of ball.
I agree with Jay. I think the game's going to be close. Sean Payton probably hates Minnesota. It depends, but I think it specifically depends on the matchup and where if we're 7-1, where's Minnesota at that time?
7-2.
Defense is kind of iffy. They've lost some of their key players over the last years. They have a bunch of mid players around trying to gel together and make a team. They lost Adam Thielen, so he's over there. They did sign, so they have Justin Jefferson. They don't have Dalvin Cook, so Alexander Mattinson will step up. So they got some new pieces to come into play.
Yeah, it's scary. I got us losing to them also, so that's unanimous.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna say win because I think our pieces are more cohesive than theirs and more solidified.
Okay,
but I understand why the network says it lost.
So Jay and I both predict L. So consensus loss
7-3.
So we are now 7-3 as we go on the road. No, stay at home. We're staying at home one more week to play against the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson.
We're gonna beat the crap out of the Cleveland Browns. I hate the Cleveland Browns.
I hate the Cleveland Browns, but I think I see it could go either way on this one. I really believe that. So
I just think we beat the crap out of the Cleveland Browns because I hate Deshaun Watson for how he got a pass this year and all attention was diverted to Russell Wilson.
I agree.
I think our defense is better than their defense.
Okay.
Their offensive line is probably better because they've been better for the past.
No, their offensive line is like top of the league.
Like by far better.
Receiving core. I don't know. I think that could be pretty. I think that could be pretty even. Even. Javonte Williams and Nick Chubb are basically the same running back. Then you add in Samaje Perine. That's a win for me. We beat Cleveland. I think our defense is better.
I'm going win as well.
Wow.
But close. Very, very close. Like down to the wire, 2-minute drill, kind of close.
I would have originally went with a loss with that because honestly, I think they play our version of football better.
Yes.
Okay.
But I think our defense is better.
Our defense is definitely better.
I think our defense.
So I'm going to give us
our defense would be the difference maker in that game. Special teams too.
All right. So we are now 8-3.
Yep.
Going on the road to Houston. In week 13. So what do we think, guys? The Houston Texans have made a lot of moves.
Back half of the schedule. If we get to this part right here, after Cleveland, they're definitely winnable games. We can snatch. Hold on, let me not screw this up. We can snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. No, we can snatch.
I predict a win in Houston.
Yes, so definitely a winning. If we're 8-3 at this time right now, we're one of the best teams in the NFL. We're all over ESPN. Everybody's talking about all the Broncos Super Bowl contenders. We already beat the Chiefs. At this point in time, we would have beat the Chiefs once, and we would have beat Buffalo. 8-3 going into that back half of the schedule. I think our confidence is way too high. I think Sean Payton's in our team's butt saying, hey, locked in. Let's go.
Okay. All right. So, do we unanimously agree on this, boys? The Broncos beat Houston?
Young QB, young head coach. I think Sean Payton's just outclassed. Sean Payton, Van Joseph puts on a clinic.
Yeah, I don't think D'Amico Ryans can out scheme Sean Payton.
No.
So
Houston will be good though.
All right.
Houston's going to be a sneaky team.
Yeah, they're going to be a sneaky team. I think they put a lot of pieces in place. I just don't think that they are ready to use those pieces right yet.
The sneaky team is the Indianapolis Colts.
All right, so let's keep it rolling.
Sneaky team are the Colts.
Yeah, but we don't play them this season unless we see them in the playoffs. So let's keep on rolling. We are now staying on the road, and we are going to Los Angeles to take on our division rival Chargers. What do we think, guys?
That's in LA. I'll be at that game. No. What date is that? No, I won't be at that game.
Yeah, you won't be at that game. Isaiah or Jay, would you like to go first on our first bout with the Chargers?
Yeah, so it's in Los Angeles, which means it's really in Denver. So we'll take a W on that.
What's that date? What's that date, Jay?
That's going to be December 10th.
Yeah, December 10th. So
I think we win away.
All right. Isaiah, what about you? Los Angeles?
I think we went out the rest of the season, so I'm going to say win. I think at that point.
All right. Well, Isaiah's giving us a clean sweep in the back end of the season. I like it. All right. So I'm also going to go with win because I believe we sweep the Chargers.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay.
At this point, we've only lost one divisional game, and that's to the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
I predict I predict the most we lose divisionally is 2 this season.
Yes,
I believe
agree.
that.
And you got to remember, at this point in time, K'Wan Williams will be back. Riley Moss will be back.
Yeah. Riley Moss is already slowly working his way into practice, so we're going to see him quicker than we think.
K'Wan was back. Who else am I missing that'll be back? I think K'Wan was the only one that will be back in the middle of the season because Jonas Griffith's out for the season. Tim Patrick's gone. Everybody else, Lord willing, no more big time injuries.
Well,
at the time.
Jalen Virgil's also out for the season, but
yeah.
So
okay,
we predict a win, all of us on the road in LA. All right, Jay. So what's that make our official record right now? We are now
we got 10-3. 10-3.
10-3. Are you sure? We would have to be 10-3. Woo! I love it. Moving on, week 15 at Detroit.
Ooh.
It is important to say this is a late December game that can be flexed to a Saturday.
That's a trap.
Trap.
It is a trap game.
Trap game.
But
the
trap game is still winnable. So you're taking a loss there.
You know what?
Yeah,
I'm going to take a trap game and a loss on that one because I think at that point in time we've been riding on our horse too high from my record for way too long. We're going
and we let Jared Goff come and knock us off our high horse, so to speak.
I think Detroit upsets Kansas City week 1. So I think Detroit's in the upset game this year as they make their way to try and get a wild card slot, which they can. I think we'll be on our horse and we need to be humbled at that point in time. Yeah, Taiwan agrees. We need to be humbled. I think
will be, probably.
Yeah.
I think that's when we get caught slipping.
Back-to-back road games.
Time we get caught slipping.
Actually,
because we finish out the season with 2 division games.
Back-to-back road games. That's the 3rd road game in a streak. So that doesn't bode well. Last game of a road trip like that. Going East Coast. Yeah, that's a classic trap game.
Yeah.
Especially on a Saturday if that happens.
Excuse me. So we are 10 and
loss. Last thing, Johnny. The reason why I say it's a loss is because those last 3 games are 2 out of 3 are divisional, 3 out of 3 are AFC. So though that close at that end of the season, those are playoff games. And I think losing to Detroit humbles you, resets you at ground zero before you need to finish out the season strong. Because I think if you're going to take a loss anywhere in that back end of the schedule, it's better to Detroit than New England, the Raiders, or the Chargers. So I'm
agree. So we are now 10-4, week 16 against New England in Denver. Dude, come on. Mac Jones, please.
He ain't it.
I just don't think New England has any.
And Taiwan brings up an excellent point. We have Bill's number. Bill Belichick does not have a good record against Denver. He just doesn't. So I'm with Taiwan on that one. Obvious win. I mean, they've got some weapons. They've added a few weapons, but Mac Jones is still the quarterback. And I don't think Mac Jones is anywhere near as hyped as a lot of people made him. So, what do you guys think?
I think he doesn't have the same weapons he had at Alabama. I think that's why he's struggling. But I think we beat New England. I think that's a road game. We just lost to Detroit. No way we're going to lose 2 in a row at the back end of the season.
On our home, in our first game back at home.
Yes.
After a 3-week road trip.
I definitely think New England, we definitely beat New England.
Sure. Jay, I believe, is frozen.
Okay, that's why he looks like he's on acid. That makes sense.
He
was tripping me the hell out. There we go.
All right, he's back.
All right, sorry.
Yeah, dude, you looked like you were on a bad acid trip, just staring off into space the way you were like frozen there.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
We both picked a dub for the New England game in Denver.
Let me caveat that. Best believe Mr. Penner will be walking down to the team facility and having a speech for them, because last Christmas we got embarrassed in front of all of our families. That game, primetime Christmas Eve. We're not going to be embarrassed 2 Christmases
against New England.
In a row. No, last year was L.A. New England is on Christmas Eve at 7:00 at night. Christmas. Eve.
The New England game is the Christmas Eve one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, Greg Penner will not be a stand for that again.
Yeah, no. Neither will Sean Payton.
Remember, it wasn't just Greg Penner. Rob Walton was there too, and he was not happy.
Yeah.
Okay. Sean Payton won't allow that either.
Embarrassing.
Like, we're not getting big.
So we are now, what did we say? 11-4?
Yeah.
11-4.
All right, we move on. We are 11-4 going, staying at home for our last home game of the season against, again, our division rival, the LA Chargers and Justin Herbert. Again, I think the Chargers going to charge her. I think the Chargers always charge her. And I think while Justin Herbert has so much potential, Brandon Staley just does not know how to unlock that potential, truly, in the end. So, dub for Denver. What say you?
I've got this as an L. I've got this as it's going to mean more at this time of the year to the Chargers than it will us, because I think Staley will literally be coaching for his job, and they'll have to win that game. And I don't know. It's New Year's Eve, 31st. I don't know. I just have a weird suspicion that at home that late in the season for us just doesn't seem like a good day. New Year's Eve in Denver. I don't know. I've just had bad experiences with late games like that at home on a holiday.
All right, Isaiah. Uh-oh.
The dubber.
I think at this point in time, Denver will be leading the AFC West, and it'll be looking like if we went out, we win the AFC West at this point in time. And I think the Chargers in Kansas City will be battling for that second spot. And I think the Chargers will be coming in trying to spoil it. They'll be trying to battle, and they'll try and spoil it. And I think I'm going to put my money on Sean Payton, and I'm going to say Sean Payton's not going to let them spoil that. I think we have the Chargers number. I think Justin Herbert's going to look very different with Kellen Moore as the offensive coordinator. No, is it Kellen Moore or Kevin O'Connell?
No, it's Kellen Moore.
It's Kellen Moore
as his offensive coordinator. It's going to look very different.
All right.
But
we got to keep it rolling, guys. We're down to the last game of the season. We got to get to it, and then we got to do the rest of our.
Kawhi says bold take.
Yeah, that's a very bold take. I agree with him on that one. But yeah. So do we? So Isaiah and I both predicted a win on that one, Jay.
Yep.
We swept the Chargers.
So got 12-4.
What?
And 12-4 and
12-4.
Last game of the year. Last game of the year at
Las
Oakland.
Vegas.
which I'll be at that game. That game I'll be at. See, here's the thing, but I'll go first on this game. Here's the thing for this game. It depends on where we are in the AFC West. Had the only loss to the Chiefs in the division is to us, then we have to win that game. If the Chargers or the Raiders, in addition to us, beat the Chiefs, that game can go either way. We'll be okay because we have the tiebreaker because we beat the Chiefs.
True.
But if the Chiefs have only lost to one other person in the division besides us, we only lost to each other. We have to win that game. And if that's the case, we beat the Raiders. If that's not the case, I can see the Raiders coming in being pissed off about the first game of the season. But I think what Jay said earlier about what team was that you said was going to implode? The Bills. I think the same thing with the Raiders. They would have been long imploded by then. I think this is when they'll try and go in there and muster together some will and do the same thing we did to the Chargers last year and ruin the game.
All right, so win or loss? You still haven't kind of. You got to pick. You got to pick one.
I originally said we had 5 losses, so I'm going to go with 5 losses. I'm going to stick with my original 5 losses, 12-5 record.
Okay, Jay.
Win.
Okay. Oh, of course I get to be the tiebreaker on this one.
Josh McDaniels is a joke. He'll be unemployed by that time of the week.
All right. I get to be the tiebreaker for the whole season. Just because I can't see us losing to Josh McDaniels at that point in the season. Win. So 13-4.
13-4 would be a great record.
But that's an amazing record.
That's a Sean Payton record, though.
Yeah,
you put that up yearly with Drew Brees. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we went 13-4 or 12-5.
I agree. All right, so that's it, guys. The official NRWOB prediction for the season is 13-4. Here we go, baby. Let's get excited. Now, Ty Weiss says final record 11-6. But we'll see. We'll see, guys. Now, I have to get ready to roll out of here because I have screaming children. But I did want one thing from each person before we go. I did want some funny some ridiculously fun hot takes tonight, but we're not going to go that route. I want to know from each one of us who we predict will be the MVP player on the Denver Broncos for the team at the end of the season. So, Jay, who do you predict will be the Broncos MVP? Best player on the guy who gets, if we were to give a just Broncos MVP, who gets it at the end of the season?
Jay Sims. Yeah. He's coming through. He's going to lead the league in interceptions. And he's just going to be the all-pro he is. Just keep on keeping on, man.
All right. Isaiah?
I agree with Jay, but I'm going to go with Courtland Sutton.
Oh!
That would be a redemption.
He definitely has his comeback.
I think
I like it.
Now, I was talking to Johnny earlier on the phone, and Jay, I don't know if you watched his press conference after practice. He was very happy and very giddy.
Yeah, he was.
And I think he's embracing that true wide receiver 1 role, and I think he understands what is expected of him and what he needs to do. And he mentioned over times he's excited about how Sean Payton is going to scheme it because he knows right now I'm the most reliable receiver we have, and we just need to. He wants to do this consistently, but he also understands for week 1, if we can without Jerry Jeudy, if we can just make it past week 1, we're good to go. Jerry Jeudy's coming back.
Cool.
So I'm going to say I think Courtland Sutton stays consistent, and he ascends to that true wide receiver 1, and he shocks a lot of people. So I'd say Courtland Sutton.
I love it. Now my prediction, I'm going to go with the one that is not going to be very popular, but is also very obvious. Russell Wilson, baby.
Yeah,
he comes back to form, comes back to true form, becomes the Russell Wilson we knew he could be, and leads the Broncos to victory after victory, and is the undisputed Broncos MVP. So there you go.
If we're going,
what's our record? What? I gotta go, dude. I can't keep yakking about
if we're going 13-4, like you said, yeah, Russell Wilson will be the MVP.
Yeah, Russell Wilson will be the MVP. All right, guys, that's it. The prediction of the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast on the Orange and Blue Network is a 13-4 season, and we have 3 MVP candidate predictions in Russell Wilson, Justin Simmons, and who did you say, Isaiah? You said
Sutton.
Courtland Sutton. So there you go, guys. That's our show for tonight. We got to roll out of here because we have children, except for Isaiah. We have children we got to put to bed. So thank you for joining us here on the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast on the Orange and Blue Network. Guys, thank you for joining us. If you have not already, please like, subscribe, and share, comment. Make sure that you also check wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, because you can find the audio version of every one of our shows there, be it Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all the big ones. You'll find us there. Guys, thank you for joining us. It's been an absolute blast. We love you, Broncos Country. We cannot wait to see you this Sunday. 1 hour before game time. So that is going to be approximately 1:25 Mountain Time. We'll call it 1:15 Mountain Time.
No.
Yes.
Wait. Is Mountain Time 3 hours behind Eastern?
What?
The game starts at 4:25 Eastern.
3:25. 3:25 Central. Yes. So the game actually starts 2:25 Mountain Time. So we will go an hour before that. I said 1:25 Mountain.
But you need to get one of those clock rugs that you lay on and then you tell the time.
For hours, just say our time because you're confusing me when you don't say it in Tennessee time.
Because most of our fans are in Colorado, you diphthong. Anyway,
I don't think that's true at all.
Whatever. The point is, 1 hour before game time this weekend, the Get Bucked Game Day show. Join us. Do not miss it. And then join us after the show, or after the game, rather, for the Buck Your Feelings post-game show. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also be looking out for our other awesome content that will be dropping throughout the week. The How About Them Broncos show, the new Orange and Blue Fantasy Frenzy show that will be dropping. Guys, it's going to be a lot of fun. We are glad to be sharing this journey with you. It's game week, boys. So I think there's only one thing left to say, and that's let's ride, all right? So here we go, Broncos Country. We are about to go into game one. Let's ride!